Alright, Travis Wayne Goodsell. I got a few minutes before I have to do start my laundry. So I just started into the news from last night, and I started with ABC News, and their first video for today was the police and protesters clash over Jackson's statue. These are, of course, on YouTube. These are the news clips. This is not social media. You'll hear Trump and Trump supporters try to say that ABC News is social media. That is lies. Social media are the people who have the cameras, who are catching the cops in crime and putting it on social media for all the world to see. That is social media. Big difference. The fake news that are going around and bots and retweeting of white supremacist misinformation and disinformation, that's what everybody's referring to when they say don't trust social media. People need to be specific, because it's causing confusion, and thus the reason for it. Alright, so Andrew Jackson, he's the good guy. The protesters have been misled into who Andrew Jackson was. In 1826 was the anti-Mason movement, and so yes, there was an anti-Mason movement that tried to politically attack Andrew Jackson's presidential campaigns, for example. He, however, nonetheless was able to become president 2 terms over. And during his time, he was able to overturn the central bank. He's the good guy. He comes from being a general in the War of 1812, where Captain William Morgan served under him. Captain William Morgan is the one who learned of the Illuminati infiltration of the Scottish Rites to attack the United States. And as I've discovered, it was most likely to take over the presidency in 1828. And so William Morgan went to his Yorkites brethren at Canandaigua, where Joseph Smith Sr. was the master mason. And so, yes, Joseph Smith Sr. was involved in helping William Morgan flee the country and taking over the publications of the books that William Morgan was prepaid to write by the Batavian Press of David Miller. And thus we get the Book of Mormon from this. The Book of Mormon is William Morgan's book, but because Martin Harris, who was on the anti-Mason committee in Palmyra, Joseph Smith Jr. was not able to distract him well enough to prevent Martin Harris from getting uncomfortable about the Freemason speech in the first draft of the 116 pages. And so they had to be rewritten. Joseph Smith Sr. put in his dreams of Jewish mysticism in the Tree of Life. And then they did a lot of plagiarism of Isaiah. And that was to fill in the 116 pages until Sidney Rigdon could rewrite the intended book by taking Solomon Spaulding's manuscript as the overall template of it, with the Smith's recommended warning message of William Morgan. And I've been going over the coding. I've got the code playlist for each of the scriptures, so You know, if this is your first video, you're way behind. And so Andrew Jackson is the good guy. Leave his statue alone. The police are the bad guys. You know, spray paint them, tear them down. I did like Trevor Noah this morning. He did a video where he finally recognized what I've been trying to tell you this whole time, is that Trump wants us dead. He says Trump doesn't care if you die. I've been saying Trump is wanting you dead. He's trying to murder you. He's getting you to do it. Says drink bleach. Go socialize, despite the rising coronavirus. And it's all for the purpose of the master plan that Smith stepped in to save America for back in 1826. And so Andrew Jackson's the good guy. Leave him alone. Yes, he may have been a slave trader. Yes, he may have said bad words. And yes, he may have broken the Mormon's word of wisdom as a non-Mormon. But get over it. If you go through your own genealogy, you'll see a lot of things that are making you go, Things that make you go, Is that Arsenio Hall? Woo, woo, woo. I only know about it because of Wesley Snipes' Passenger 57 movie. His intended girlfriend, of whom he contends with in the beginning. I can't get involved with a woman who gets violent and angry and mean, and so, but apparently it's a fetish for some. But anyway, she puts him next to an elderly woman elderly white woman who has seen the Arsenio Hall show and assumes that she's sitting next to Arsenio Hall now. But Wesley Snipes then got busted for tax evasion and got released to make his glorious comeback with a few direct-to-DVD movies that bombed, but then got a reprieve with the peanut commercial. The Super Bowl. I still haven't seen anything that he's in yet after the Super Bowl, though. So I guess nobody wants him back still. He's still an excellent actor. Alright, anyway. So yeah, leave Andrew Jackson alone. He's the good guy. He saved America temporarily as far as he could with presidential powers that were far less than what are given to presidents nowadays since Nixon, the one who started the inverted pentagram with his campaign button that I found out the other day. And so, yeah, that's when the whole thing began, is the Illuminati with the inverted pentagram of Lucifer. And all those involved with Lucifer have the inverted pentagram. So don't get fooled into blaming victims and blaming heroes, as Trump wants to do, to blame doctors. Punish states who want to save lives rather than Trump who wants to just have us die. And thus, Governor Herbert wants us dead. Thus, Russell M. Nelson wants us dead. Remember, the inverted pentagram is on the keystone of the door of the temple, and on the Seagull Gate keystone as well, which points directly at the state capitol, meaning that the church, which is the Church of Lucifer, controls the United States, well, at least Utah government and every organization here in Utah. Blah, blah, blah. I'm late.